last time out. How nice was that?
Well, that's progress. Hopefully, we can build on that and continue to do that. It's definitely something we practice and preach all week, and it was good to not have penalties. It was good to not have negative plays that set back the offense, and it's something we had to clean up, over the last couple of weeks, and they did that. And so, throughout the bye week, we continue to preach that. Going into this Saturday, that's going to be big as well. We can't have negative plays that set the chain, get us behind the chains and get us off a rhythm on the offense and hurt us, whether we get down the red zone or wherever it might be. So, it's a very conscientious group. They want to do well. They don't want to have those negative type of plays, and so it's important to them. And I'm confident they're going to continue to get those corrected, and so we can be a powerful offense.
Landon said that when you got a guy like Lynn Bowden in the backfield back there, it's like hold on and just wait and see what happens. Does anything change schematically or technique-wise when you're trying to block for a guy like that?
Well, no. You just have to sustain your block because he has that ability to extend plays, and when you got a guy back there that can do that and run around and make things happen with his feet, you can't let guys off of your blocks, and you got to be careful that you don't get out of position where you go to grabbing a guy and get out, lose leverage, and it turns into a holding situation too. You got to move your feet. So we had a couple of those that came up at Georgia where guys were in good position, and when he goes to scramble, we got to continue to stay in those good positions and not tug them, and get called for a holding. But it definitely is something that we talk about. How hey, he's going to extend the play, so you better extend the play.
Right.
So you can't have that mental clock where hey, I think the ball is going to be out. It's not, and all of a sudden, Lynn's taking off running for 40 yards, and we got to do a good job of sustaining our blocks when he does that.
And he had mentioned that he thinks the guys are kind of driven by what happened in this game last season. They know they didn't play the best, maybe their worst game of the year. Do you ever flash back to when you were playing and coming off and having a memory of a game like that?
Well, most certainly. I think you take those things personally a lot of times. When you feel like a guy across from you or a unit across from you got after your tail and whipped you a little bit up front, if you're a competitor, you don't take too kindly to that. You want to make sure that next time out you earn that respect back a little bit, and I think that's something that we talked a little bit about going into the Missouri game, and I feel like our guys responded well. It was something early in the year where we talked about going into the Eastern Michigan game where they came to town a few years ago and got after us a little bit, and they responded well there. So this is no different, a situation where I don't think we went down there and probably put our best foot forward last year, where they got after us. You got to give them the credit, but hopefully that's motivation for our guys to step up and earn some of that respect back this year.
I thought against Missouri, everybody clicked. Every facet, it was kind of the most complete game probably from across the board. Was there anything leading up to that you maybe look back and signal like that was you could have seen that coming?
Honestly, I felt like we did some really good things down at Georgia at times, but unfortunately, the negative things offset those. When you have penalties, when you have those things that come up, the good things get overshadowed a little bit, and so I think it was just building up to where, our best game's still out there. When's that going to happen? I don't know. I hope it's this Saturday. I think, Missouri game was probably one of our better games this year as a whole unit. So hopefully we can build on that. Hopefully we don't take a step backward and digress. And that's always the thing as a coach that you want to continue to emphasize, and you got to fight it every week, because if you don't show up in this league, you're going to get embarrassed. Especially in the trenches. And so it's just, it's something that we're constantly preaching, constantly talking about. The guys, they're obviously out there practicing hard and doing all those types of things, but you got to go over and do it on Saturday when it really counts, and that's what you look forward to every week.
You noticed anything different from Tennessee up front lately? They've done a really good job against the run the last couple of games.
Oh yeah, they sure have. Well, they're a physical group up front. Batuli at linebacker. They got several guys in their defensive line that can make plays. They can make negative plays. I think the coaches do a great job of coaching. They're pretty stout up there, on their front, whether it's against the run game or rushing the passer. So, it's going to be a tremendous challenge for us, and we're going to have to step up to that challenge. But, that's every week. Honestly, in this league, that's just about every week. There's not too many teams that you come across that you can't say that about as far as their defensive front goes. They've got some guys up there, and it's going to be a challenge, and you're going to have to, raise the bar and continue to play at a high level.